Test 1 2. Testing 1 2. AC Sports Live on the 26th day of August 2025. Full show for each night. NFL action is about to begin next week. Cuts have been made, and Shedeur made the team. Shilo waits for a phone call. We'll talk about that. Boxing news, Bud and Canelo get even closer. Tank and Jake are going to fight in an exhibition. What's that about? Oh, man, Brandon Adams is going to be on the card for the Bud Canelo fight. My 2 cents, is Paige Beckers better than Caitlyn Clark? And there's a way we can make the dunk contest a little bit more intriguing if they take this little tip for some guys at the gym. Modern day, the game has been canceled this week, and we know why. And I'm at LA Fitness, and what are the rules for 21 these days? I don't know. My sports Flix, I concluded the Dallas Cowboys documentary on Netflix. Give my thoughts on that. And I want to take a walk down memory lane. I went to the Poly game on Friday, Poly versus Lusinger. I have ties to both teams. I'm a Jackrabbit. I was also an Olympian for about 5 years as a teacher. So I went to the game and I took away some thoughts. And I have a new segment on the show, Paw Paw season. Not Unk season, but Paw Paw season. Older gents getting it in. This is AC Sports Live. And it's time to go.
He ain't never slumber, never put him to the test. He be reigning king forever, resurrected after death. All praise to God, brother, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, all praise to the one.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're back in the building. Shedeur mate stick team. The Browns trade Kenny Pickett, and that makes room for Mr. Sanders to be the third string quarterback. Jimmy G's in the building. Guerrero in the building. Miss you, kid. One of my former students. One of the coolest kids on the block. We got a new crop of kids now. Trying to see who's going to become the new Jimmy G. The new Paw Paw. It doesn't look very good. I don't have as many cool kids as I had last year. Shout out to CJ. Saw him on a live. What wasn't a live? More as like a FaceTime. Rian came through, said somebody wants to talk to you. I said, boy, where your shirt at? Shout out to Christopher Jackson. I had another visit. Aaliyah Davis came and visit me. She's going to Northridge. Jimmy G. Jimmy said, unfortunately, I have a job now. How is it unfortunately? That's a beautiful thing. You're making money. Shout out. We're streaming live on Instagram as well. Got my cell phone handy right there. So we'll see how long my battery lasts up there. Streaming live, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. He hasn't found his black queen yet. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Jimmy G, my man. All right, so Shedeur makes the team. What does that mean? All the talking heads are saying he did not outplay Dylan Gabriel for the second string job. And you can say what you want. Was it sabotage? Was it merit? Production? It's all subjective. It's all based on context. I've been there, man. You can't produce the same type of quality when you don't have the same circumstances. Offensive line, tight end, running backs, and receivers 4 out of the 5 linemen that blocked for Shedeur got cut. That's huge, man. And that's not, I don't think it's necessarily sabotage. I just think it's not fair to judge Shedeur based on that. When he did have a decent line the day he started, he did pretty cool. 2 tubs, no turnovers, led them to a win. OG Mike in here, Saint Mikey on Instagram, Long Beach legend. The athlete is in here. Martine, love what you're doing, brother, with the young Long Beach athletes, with the athlete. So Shedeur being 3rd string, and Deshaun Jackson is looming. He's still on the team, which makes that 4 when he comes back off the PUP list or whatever list he's on, because he had a pretty bad injury last year. Do we think Joe Flacco is going to last this season, as old and immobile he is? Now, I keep hearing how much better Dillon Gabriel is than Shedeur Sanders. And I'm thinking to myself, if he's a 5th round pick and y'all don't think he's good, let him go. Cut him so he can go start for the Saints. So he can go start for the... Who else? Mike said, coaches said they don't want to because of quarterback controversy. If Shedeur came back and won it, will cause an unnecessary uproar. Well, when they're not winning, the fan favorite is the backup quarterback. Let Flacco get hurt. Let Dillon Gabriel go in there and stink it up. The man threw a pick 6 and a fumble, lost a fumble in the same game. And he goes to the press conference and says, production, competition over entertainment. And then goes to Shedeur and said, I wasn't talking about you. Yeah, right. That's what your dad at Oregon said. Your head coach at Oregon said, we're substance, not fluff. In reference to Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. So you learned that from your pops. And I'm not coming down on Dillon Gabriel. He's a good quarterback, the winningest quarterback of all time, because he played, seven years? He's very experienced. But they took him in the 3rd round. So it ain't like you're a 1st round automatic. Coach Laura's in here. Shout out to Modern Day Football representing last week, putting hands on the boys down in Florida. St. Thomas Aquinas. Turned out to be a pretty good game, but I still think Modern Day cleans up their penalties, and that game is not even close. The best team in high school football, hands down. They're going to have a hard time finding games, because who wants to take that whooping? They're loaded from top to bottom. That D-line is incredible. Them guys could probably win 5 or 6 games in the Mountain West. Modern Day is that good, man. Great job, Coach Laura. I got Con Man in here. What's going on? Con Man said, all is well. I appreciate you, man. Check out the Con Man. Mike C, back east. Shilo got cut. And I kind of saw that coming. And he's an undrafted free agent. And as difficult as it is to make a team, I was an undrafted free agent and I got cut and I got picked back up. I'm pretty sure once everything clears, Shiloh's going to get picked back up. If not by the Bucks, by someone else. He's a good player. Aggressive. And I don't think the punch, it wasn't even a punch. If you watched the replay, it was a slap. And we coaches like aggressive players. Shiloh's aggressive. Guy was up in his face, overdoing it. Gave him a little shove to the face, got ejected. DB coaches like that kind of stuff. Defensive coordinators like that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was stupid to get ejected in the preseason game, but I don't think they held that against him. It's a numbers game. When you're undrafted, it's already an uphill battle to make the team. He's undersized, and he ran a 4.4, so he has good speed, but he's undersized. He's an undersized safety in a league where you can't hit as aggressively as you once could, which he would have been fine 10 years ago when you could still hit someone. Now you really can't be as aggressive out there and be a headhunter. You got to be a ball hawk. And I don't think Shedeur, Shilo's thing is being a ball hawk, but I do believe he's good enough to be on someone's practice squad. So I think he'll bounce back, and his road to being a player is a lot harder than Shedeur's. I think Shedeur will play. Will he play this year for the Browns? I don't know. But the Browns knew if they put Shedeur on the practice squad, he would get signed. And that's how it works. So you trade away Kenny Pickett, make Shedeur a third string, and they get to sit back and watch him develop. Even if he doesn't play this year, he's going to be a good quarterback in the future. He has all the intangibles. He has the moxie. I kind of like what Urban Meyer said. Urban Meyer, we all know who Urban Meyer is. Urban Meyer is a national championship coach. Kind of spotty history. He had those Florida teams that did some dirt, and then Ohio State teams did some dirt, but he's a champion. This is what he says. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a player. He's an empire. If I were an NFL coach, I'd build the entire team around him. People may not like the spotlight and flashiness that comes with him, but I've seen enough to know this is the guy who will lead a team to greatness. He doesn't just play the game, he changes it. That's saying a lot. This sounds like a plan for Jerry Jones to hire Urban Meyer as the head coach, and the Cowboys will use Shedeur Sanders to replace Dak Prescott when this season falls apart. You heard it here first. Shout out to Big Time and the Big Time Show, who's the biggest Cowboys fan I know. He might like that idea. Urban Meyer coaching the Cowboys and Shedeur Sanders is your quarterback. That will be Hollywood in the making. That would sell some tickets. That would have you on TV every week. And this is all about money, right? It's all about entertainment. I can see it happening. Big TJ in here. See Mo's in here. Chris Morrison doing his thing over at Hoper International. Bobby Mix in here. Jimmy G's on both. Oh, man. So the Sanders boys is going through it, but they'll be fine. NFL cuts. Guys getting released. It's part of the business. Tough part of the business. If you're not drafted in the third round or higher, chances are you're getting cut and brought back on the practice squad. That's life, man. And then every Monday, you might have a pink slip, or you might be brought up to the 53-man roster. Depends on who's healthy and who's not. Life of an NFL player. Kids who think they're going pro. That part. You thought it was hard to get a scholarship now? Check how hard it is to make an NFL team. It ain't for the weak. Boxing. We're getting closer and closer to Canelo Crawford. A real fight. And I can't wait. I got Crawford in a decision. I don't see Canelo knocking him out. I don't see Crawford knocking out Canelo. I seeing it come down to a battle of boxing skill. Big shots won't be landed. It's going to be about who can outclass the other. And then it comes down to who can outscore, who can look sharper, who can look cleaner. And it comes down to Canelo being bully. So the last slick fighter he fought, a slick fighter, I don't know if we're going to call Charlo slick, because he was actually fighting a little bit scared. That was not supposed to be his fight. That was his brother's fight. He took the fight, and he didn't look like he was in the right class. He looked outclassed. He didn't necessarily want to get hit and embarrassed. I don't think Crawford has that same fear. I think Crawford is hittable. He's been hit before, but now that they're both a little bit older, it will come down to skill. since all the drug rumors, the PED rumors, Canelo hasn't knocked anyone out. Just like when Pacquiao got called out, when Mayweather called him out for drug use, he never knocked anybody out again. And then you see Bud hanging out with Balco representatives and his allegations of using performance-enhancing drugs. Secret, guys, a little secret. Most professional athletes are on supplements. If not all professional athletes are on supplements. Do they push the envelope for a big competition? I wouldn't put it past them. This is your livelihood. If you can find a way to get an edge, you take that edge because this is your legacy. Why do baseball players continuously take PEDs? Because if you can have a 50 home run season, you can get paid enough money for your grandchildren to live well. And you'll take that suspension. They're not taking your money away. They'll just suspend you for a few games. Your third strike, they'll suspend you for 50 games. If you get caught again, they'll suspend you for 80 games or whatever it might be. But you'll be paid. They don't take your money. So baseball players take the risk and the reward. The reward is generational wealth. You might get a little, black eye on your last name. But you're McGuire Sosa. You become an urban legend because you had a 70 home run season, like Barry Bonds, who said, I didn't know if I was taking anything. I didn't know the lotion had some juice in it. Is the Hall of Fame important to you, or winning this fight? Because there's some magic juice out there that's not going to be detected. Bud is not going to be smaller than Canelo at the fight. They're going to be the same size, and Canelo might be shorter, and Bud gets to eat whatever he wants as he's preparing. He's not going to lose all his speed. Because think about it, man. 12-round bout. 12 rounds. Who's the faster starter? And who's the slicker? And who looks like they could do whatever they want to do? And I'm sure Bud is watching a ton of Mayweather Canelo film. That was a young Canelo. But you meshed that young, aggressive bull with the most recent 2 or 3 fights and how he comes forward. His defense has gotten a lot better, but he's still not as quick as Bud or Floyd Mayweather. Now he's sparring with Boots Ennis, which is a good practice barometer, and he's getting dotted up. You see his eye was swollen up from his sparring session. So Boots is hitting him, and I don't think it's going to be hard to hit Canelo. So I got Bud in the decision. If it's 12 rounds, I'll go 7-5 Bud. And we'll see what happens. Does this make Bud top 10 middleweight of all time? If he fights this fight, does he go up to fight Benavidez? Or does he retire and walk right up into the sunset? Rodney Sauce is in the building. How much weight is Canelo dropping? He's not, I don't think Canelo dropping any weight. They're both walking around at 185, and I think they're going to fight at 168. I could be corrected, but I'm sure they're going to fight at super middleweight. So they're both walking around like defensive backs, eating whatever they want. Matter of fact, I think Bud is able to eat more protein and train as hard as he wants because he has to put the muscle on while keeping his speed and timing together. So is it easier to put on weight and fight up, or to lose weight and fight down and keep your power when you're not hydrated? Say Mike said draw. That's gonna be terrible, man. All this and get a draw? That's like kissing cousins, man. That's like Hearns. That's like Hearns Leonard 2, when Hearns clearly beat Sugar Ray up. I mean, Sugar Ray was on the mat like 4 times, and they gave him a draw. I was hurt for Hearns. I'm a Sugar Ray fan, but I knew Sugar Ray lost that fight. Sugar Ray lost to Hagler. If you go by round for round, because that was a 12-round fight, wasn't it? And I had that 7-5 Hagler. So it's hard, man. If you don't knock a dude out, you better look like Sugar Ray Leonard and steal them rounds, or like De La Hoya go hard when he hears that knock, and he starts throwing just combinations that ain't even landing, just looking real busy to try to steal that round. It's a good tactic. Speaking of tactics, Cannon Nation Boxing Zone, Brandon the Cannon Adams will be on the undercard. And I'm so excited, man. My boy gets to be on the same card as Canelo Bud, the undercard, and Serhii Boyachuk and Brandon Adams too. They fought before. Brandon knocked him out with a body shot. It's going to be a pretty tough fight because it's very difficult to beat the same guy twice, especially if that guy felt that first fight was a fluke because you hit him in the body and caught him, right in the solar plex where you can't breathe. It was the vicious body shot, and Brandon hit me with a couple of those when I was in there moving around with him, just messing around, and he hit me with just soft one. And I ain't taking knee, but your boy so understood what it meant. Like, you don't play boxing, you don't go in there messing around. But a guy who is a mean left hook to the body, and your elbows can't reach all the way down to your belt, so you in there, arms up, and you try to cover that, and he get right up underneath your elbow. Oh boy, it ain't no joke, bro. It ain't no joke. You better have your abs tight. You can't be huffing and puffing, and them abs is real loose. Them body shots, like one of them old school dudes be like, go to the body. If you ain't never felt what it feels like, you're in the most I've gone with them is 5 rounds. In the 4th round or so, you pretty much spent. And you in there working, and you're jabbing, you go into the body, and they stick you one good time underneath your elbow on the side. And your whole body just goes limp, and your legs begin to turn into jello. And I was like, now I understand what those boxers feel. When you get hit in a good spot, a good solid shot, and you're tired, and you're taking an out or an in breath, and they hit you right between your breaths, and you you gotta take a knee. I haven't been hit hard like that. I've been hit pretty solidly like that. But I was like, man, if he gives you a full turn your foot left hook to the gut or the side or the kidney shot, oh man, it is no joke. I was seeing Hagler knock dudes out with that shot, and I was like, man, why is that guy getting knocked out with a body shot? My OG in here, Chucky Miller. Hey, shout out Casey Miller, man, starting varsity, true freshman in Hawaii. It don't get no better than that, man. To the body, OG, to the body. Can't breathe. If you had the wind knocked out of you, that's what it feels like. You play football and you got hit in the stomach, and you don't understand why you can't breathe all of a sudden. You ain't hurt, you just can't breathe. When Tank hit, was it Garcia in the solar plex on the side, and he had a delayed reaction? It is no joke, bro. I'm trying to tell you, don't play boxing. But playing boxing is what Tank and Jake Paul are about to do in our face. Tank and Jake Paul are going to have an exhibition. I mean, the word exhibition already let you know it's going to be a dance. Tank is a knockout artist, but he's 5'5", 145 pounds. Jake Paul is what, 6 foot, 200 pounds? He's going to give up 50 pounds and fight Tank in an exhibition? Make it a real fight. No belts are on the line. There's no need for a catch weight. You both are professionals. They probably can't get it approved by the commission because of the weight difference. The 50-pound weight difference is crazy. If it was a real boxing match, I'm taking Tank because the skill. We saw how much Mike Tyson had to hold up on the left hook. He had to bite his own gloves to stop throwing the left hook. Amateur fighters are not ready for skilled professional fighters. Jake Paul has had his number of fights, so he's no longer an amateur, but he's still very weak in his skill. He's a brawler, easy to hit. Tank would wait and uppercut and left hook him to death. However, they're going to still get paid. We're still going to watch. But what are we doing? There's a fight for Tank. Tank's supposed to fight Roach again. And there's a super middleweight that Jake can fight. That's ready to fight. That's actually in his prime or close to it. Why does he keep doing these practice fights, man? Because there's money to be made. I'm not mad at that. But Tank Davis, one of the biggest names in boxing in his prime, is going to take an exhibition fight versus a YouTuber. The sweet science, man. We're messing up the game. Rodney Saw said, I need the Paul brothers to get knocked out and go away for good. They won't. There's too much money. Them guys have changed the game. They've actually helped the game. They've shown a lot of people how to make money and do the business of boxing. So it's not just Mayweather making money. My problem is I love what Jake did for the ladies last month, where he made sure all the ladies had their stage, they got paid, and it was lovely. Nobody had an exhibition. It wasn't phony. They were all trying to get it in. What Jake is doing, like the Mike Tyson fight, that was staged, man. That was a song and dance, no knockouts allowed. He could have knocked Mike out in the 5th round. Mike could have knocked him out in the 2nd round. But they wanted to give the people a show so they can justify that money they brought in. It's money. So they've changed the business model. My problem with it is the gimmick. And that let's see you fight for real for the same amount of money. Like there's real money out there. So now we saw your business model works, but do you have to be like in there winning for it to work? I don't know. We like to see you lose too. I wouldn't mind seeing him lose, but he don't want to get knocked out. He don't want to get knocked out. Chuck said, how much has he made so far for JP? Or how much money them boys making hundreds of millions on, what do you call those fights? Those setup fights? The one fight that wasn't a setup fight is the one he lost. So I know he wants to fight for real, but he knows he hasn't had the experience to go in there and fight for. He doesn't have any Golden Glove experience. He doesn't have the mileage that these guys got. Like a real boxer has been in the trenches, sparring every day. Like I just left the gym tonight and talking to my buddy Rock. Had his share of Golden Gloves, went pro. Now he's trying to keep busy, trying to get fights. These guys are grinding every day trying to get fights. Pass physicals, pass MRIs, pass CAT scans. Everything has to be worked out. The money has to be right. Location has to be right. Opponent has to be right. A lot goes into creating a fight. A fight promoter has to be on his P's and Q's and know how to get things done and promote. I could actually see you doing that, Big Chuck. You'd be a good fight promoter. Getting everybody to come out, showcasing 2 guys who want to get down, who are like skilled, and you bring the people out and we see a good fight. It's easier said than done. OG Biggers, Byron Biggers in here. B Loke, my OG. I might just skip down to my topic because I went to the Poly game on Friday. I'm just going to go ahead and get it out the way. Me and B Biggers was sitting on the 20-yard line in our normal spot. Jeff Adger was nearby, kicking it with his kid, and we watching the game, and it was kind of sad, man. I don't know if Poly even had 50 kids. But one of the former standout players was not in uniform. He was in the stands with us. And Byron said, yo, man, why are you not playing? The kid said he wasn't motivated to play. And that blew my mind, man. I'm trying to get my son into poly 5 years ago. This kid is in poly and does not want to play. And I'm just like, what is going on? When I was a kid, man, and I played Pee Wee football on the east side and the west side, we used to dream about playing on Friday nights. We watching Chucky Miller, Dennis Price, we watching Chris Roscoe, Michael Carter, Stanley Alexander. All these guys was our OGs, and we wanted to make them proud by doing the same things we saw them do. We watched from the gate, watching practice. We playing for Tony and Jerome, for the Cowboys and Wildcats. We just couldn't wait for our turn. And then when we got our turn, we went out there and represent. And then my kid gets of age and I can't get him in school. So that's a disappointment in itself. I know he would have been a great jackrabbit, but we did just fine at St. Anthony's. He was still able to get out, and he's playing on Thursday. You see me rocking my Delaware State. He's playing Thursday, Delaware State versus Delaware on ESPN+. It all works out. He's playing for a jackrabbit in Deshaun Jackson. God's plan, God's timing. I'm not going to complain about that. But the principle of the matter is, it's a privilege to play at Long Beach Poly. And if all of us dads were able to get our sons in and keep the guys at home, we would still be a powerhouse. But the young man said he wasn't motivated. And that kind of like made me think that what has been done by Long Beach Unified School District to create parity in the schools has worked. You've changed the dynamic of the Moore League and Long Beach as a whole when it comes to football. When I see Mater Dei play against St. Thomas Aquinas on TV, when I see Sacramento Grant playing on TV, and we lose to Lusinger, Olympians. No disrespect to Lusinger, they had a good team. But when in the history of football is Long Beach Poly losing to a Lusinger? And they blew off firecrackers in our parking lot. I just had to laugh. And we have world-class athletes in school not playing. I was like, wow, man, we are out here barely getting first downs, struggling to get our athletes the ball, defense looking slow versus a team that wasn't very fast. We got a 4x4, a 4x1. We got a track team out there and we looking slow. I was like, what is going on here? So I'm still rocking with my jackrabbits. But when the young man said he don't want to play, why is that? Now, prior to, say he never played before, that's a whole nother topic. When you have success and you're known, I don't know, does a kid have offers? I think he was one of those guys that had offers. Like, he was a speedster, he's a track guy. And he's like, I'm not motivated to play. I was like, yo, that's crazy. But that's the state of affairs right now, man. Somehow or another, if we don't have enough kids in the city, and the kids that do have potential are going to Bosco and Mater Dei. And then they force us dads to take our sons to the best situation. Casey Miller's going to be a 5-star corner. But OG Chuck had to take him to the best situation for him. We can't take a chance with our kids. We got to do what's best for our kids. So that comes back to, what are we doing? Why isn't Poly what it once was? When we had Juju and Biggie and all those guys, Pee Wee legends, just graduating, going right to Poly and keeping the tradition going. Does it seem like that? We had one of our star athletes transferred to Servite. And I talked to his mom when I was having my son train at Servite for his 40 start. So he'll have some technique. Shout out to BT, Coach Thomas at Servite. Track team is looking great. 12, 15 kids, including a poly transfer, football player, track star. Times have changed, man. I used to dream of going to poly. Now kids are dreaming to go to Mater Dei. Kids are posting that I'm committed to Mater Dei like it's college. Ah, man. Times have changed, bro. Times have changed. Shout out to Rudy Campbell, Mater Dei tight end coach. He has the #1 tight end in California. I think in this #1 tight end in the nation. Didn't get him the ball that much on Friday, but he still looks good going to SC. Rudy said, love that kid, go Hornets. AC2, my son, he's playing edge rusher this week, Rudy. So I think he's wearing 51. He didn't get his number because there's too many guys, and then D-Jack, was trying his best. He wanted to rock a bunch of numbers that were already taken. So I said, hey, man, ain't nothing but a number. I wore 5 numbers at UCLA. It'll all work out. Bigger said it was all a dream to be a Rabbit as a kid. Man, it was all a dream. Chuck said, yeah, man, you know how hard it was for me to let Casey go to Dominican, now Los Al, but I didn't feel the love for Don Norford and didn't want my kid caught in some Chucky Miller hater. Oh, they're doing you like prime? Then you got to do what you got to do. I kind of felt that way because I applied for the head coaching job twice. And they did not pick me. The first time I was third, I understood they went with Antonio Pierce. But this second time when they went with Barbie, I was #1. Rob Schott called me at 4:30 p.m. after that 10 o'clock a.m. interview. And they were making a teaching position for me. In the 9th hour, they went with Barbie. And I was like, you know what? Again, God's plan. Doors closed, doors open. Not meant to be. Do I want to put my son in that environment and have that resentment, not knowing whether or not these people are for me or not? And I was still like, you know what? Besides that part, we want to be a Jackrabbit. I want a legacy continue. You got uncles, you got family who went here. I still know teachers that teach there, but it just was not meant to be. His head coach now, Deshaun Jackson, told my son, I wish you were a Jackrabbit. You should have been a Jackrabbit. Yeah, but nobody helped us get in. So it ain't, and that's a whole nother conversation. Why is it so hard for us to get our legacy kids in? Where's Sean Ashley when you need him? Carlos in here. Tell Rudy Cabrera to go to bed. Oh, man, they ain't got a game this week. Mater Dei can't get a game. Bishop Montgomery tapped out. They got the guys suspended last week. They weren't going to play anyway. I think the fight was staged so they could get thrown out, and they can't play this week. There, I said it. That was on purpose. So now they have a legitimate reason they can't play Mater Dei. They didn't want to get beat 75-0, man. Who's going to beat Mater Dei in high school? Nah, TJ, nobody helped. Everybody thought they had juice, and then we were trying everything, man. Addresses, wait lists. And then the slap in the face was when my son started lifting weights. He got a little bigger. He was playing JV basketball in the 10th grade. And we rolled up to Poly, play against Samu in the JV squad. And Rob Schock says, that's your son? I'm like, yeah. He was like, shoot. I didn't know he was going to get that big. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, you would have let him in if you knew he was going to be big and maybe play football? Because at the time when they were trying to get in, he was just a basketball player. And that kind of made me mad too. So now it's kind of like, you don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to push football until he says I want to play, because you don't play football just for fun. You play football because you love it. And when he saw that he could be good at it, he went in it, jumped both feet in, began to hit the weights, start taking his supplements, his serious mass. His strength coach, Greg Washington, had him in the strength program. And he got to the right size, won the 100-meter dash at 2:20, and he became a prospect. Could have been a jackrabbit, man. Could have won the 400-meter dash. But things happen in God's time, man. So we let things happen. He said, have that kid reach out. Deshaun did apply, but then Delaware State came and he couldn't say no. D-Mac Fine here. You no. Rudy C, man, we gotta play some golf, bro. Fear the halo. So Rudy and Coach Laura were at St. Anthony's, and I was on that staff with them. I said, hey, it's nothing like taking a bunch of kids who don't know how to play and win some games. And then they gonna take the modern day job, and now you got all these all-stars. You ain't gotta really coach. You just gotta make sure everybody lines up. And you gotta make sure everybody doesn't get penalties. That's the only thing that's gonna hurt modern day is penalties. Like taunting penalties because they're dominating and destroying people. BTA. Every play. You said Mark Fields? Man, Mark Fields was crazy, man. Mark Fields was so fast. They had Mark Fields at gunner on punt team. At linebacker. That dude was insanely fast, man. Hey, switching gears, man. Did y'all see Paige Beckers go off? And I'm thinking to myself, this is who we saw in college and high school. And nothing against Caitlyn Clark, but if she ain't got this bag, Paige Becker's got everything in the bag. But I don't hear anything about how good she is. Jimmy Mack and I used to talk about this is before Caitlyn Clark was the Great White Hope. It was Paige Beckers. I think the problem with Paige Beckers is that she's lesbian and they don't want to promote that part of the game. But you can't deny she got everything in the bag. The jumper, the midi, the lay. We know Caitlyn can shoot it, but does she have this like craftiness around the rim? Now, can either one of them win? That's the kicker. Are they going to be able to win with the, I don't say lack of strength, but it will come down to leadership. Could they lead? Jay said, my old coach Paige, Bryant Cosgriff. She, before the injuries, man, she was on her way to, all-time great status. Tarazi and all them, UConn greats, she was right there with them. Maya Moore. All the UConn greats, and then all the college greats. Catchings, Holtzclaw, Cooper, Swoops, all around game. She got it. She's not getting the same publicity. Why is that? Represent Hopkins High School? For sure. Baller, man. I saw this video and I'm thinking about how bad the All-Star game is and how the dunk contest is pretty weak now because all the stars ain't in it. I saw these guys doing different dunks.
Windmill.
And they were in line and they had to do dunks according to what the guy said. No matter how tall you were, doing dunks based on the call out.
Windmill.
So I started thinking, wouldn't this be pretty cool if the dunk contest, you still have your judges
360.
and you have to perform with style and power the dunk that the person suggests. As you can see in this contest,
Between the legs.
some of these guys can do a pretty nasty dunk based on a request. I mean,
Reverse 360 between the legs.
if I hear reverse 360 between the legs, I'm thinking to myself, that's going to be a tough dunk.
Off the wall between the legs.
Off the wall between your legs. So now if someone says, all right, off the wall between your legs or off the backboard or off the car, whatever it is, I want to see it. Now, there won't be a wall at the All-Star game, of course, but you can call stuff out. That will be the dunk contest winner right there. The dunks get harder as we go. I think it could work. I think they should try it. Why not? And I'm at LA Fitness, and the guy says, you want to play 21. This video,
Yo, you play 21?
what are the rules of 21 these days?
21, ain't no rules.
All right, bet. You break.
Bet.
All right, so when we grew up, when you played 21, you shoot from the free throw line. First free throw is 2. After the first free throw, they are 1s. You shoot from the top of the key. The first 3 is 3 points. After that, every top of the key free throw is 2. You play 1s and 2s. When the ball is not made, you rebound, you clear it. Now I know the youngsters put in, if you air ball, you can put back. Now they're saying you can put back and you turn that player to 0. We used to shoot, you had to be on an odd number to get 21. If you did not, you ended up with 20, you go back to 13. If you shoot your 21 and you miss it and somebody gets the rebound and scores before you score again, you go back to 13. Now I don't know what these kids are doing, man.
Hold on,
What are the rules of
Half
21?
court. Oh, everybody knows you break at half court.
Tazzy Skies and Limits in here. Sister Tazzy in here on
Bro, we're
Instagram.
playing 1s and 2s. How you get 3?
The first basket, though, is 3 points.
So we spend more time explaining what 21 is than playing.
There's no rules. No, bro. It's 1s and 2s the whole game.
After the first basket.
Unwritten rules of 21. We got to reestablish what it is. You make 3 free throws and you take it out.
3 and out.
3 and out has to be a rule. You cannot shoot more than 3 free throws. There has to be some defense played. And if you're playing with more than 2 people, if you shoot the ball, you D up. You come in the key. Everybody can play defense inside the key. So there are no layups. Does that make sense? When did the guys change 21?
Talking about.
You make 3 shots, now I get to guard you again.
Chris, I stay here until I miss.
No, you
Stay
can't
until you miss is
like
crazy.
Bro, you said there was no rules.
Bro, that's the rule, though.
What you got?
That's 18.
18?
Yeah. 19.
Bro, what are you doing? Bro, shoot a regular shot.
I don't have to shoot a regular shot.
So you can just sit there and just throw the ball and get it right back?
You gotta get the rebound.
That's 0.
Not 0, Evan. We not playing tips. You didn't call that.
Bro, it's automatic.
So tips. See, I need to, if I'm gonna get back in the gym playing with these youngsters, I need to know the rules, man. I ain't got no time to be wasting. I ain't got much left tread on these tires, man. Are we playing old school 21 or this new school 21? If that's the case, we might as well just play 1-on-1. 1s and 2s to 13. There's too many rules, man. I'll get mad. Rudy C says she's so dope. Hey, man. Lo said Rudy just changes out the water bottle. They over there chilling, Los. Hey, even got a coach, man. Them dudes coach themselves, man. You see Chris Henry out there looking like a grown man. When you catch the ball behind your back, behind the back of your head, when you catch the ball like this, y'all out there cheating, man. Them kids are too good. Nobody want to play modern day, man. I am going to reach out to you about the truck driving school to get some endorsements under my belt. Do that, man. All in CDL training, the future of commercial driving. Do that, D-Mac. And put the flyer up there. For anybody else that wants to get their Class A, Class B, or some endorsements, 909-708-4861. The church on 3960 East Gilman. The classroom in the back is where the trucking school is. www.allincdtraining.com. On the west side, on Lakewood, well, it's not really the west side. It's still considered the Wrigley's, just about Lakewood and Willow, right by the police station. So there ain't no funny business. Ain't gonna be no craziness going on. Everything on the up and up over there. We'll take care of you a little bit, D-Mac. Lo said, that's wild. No, man. Eddie Tober said, we didn't play 21 like that in the LBC. Nah, man. If you didn't, let's see, if you got 21, you got to shoot an NBA 3 or a half-court 3 to win the game. There once was a time where you had 19, you had to hit a three-pointer, and it makes 21. You had to land on 21. Or if you had 20 and you missed, you went back to 13. That was fair. But then you make 2 shots and you bring back in the mix. It was so hard to end the game when you had to hit the half-court shot to win the game. The half-court shot to win the game is crazy. The circle shot, a little bit more decent. An NBA 3 is decent. But keep it consistent, youngsters. Y'all keep changing the game. I know there are no fouls in 21. You can roughhouse a little bit. My sports flicks, man, Jerry Jones pretty much made a documentary to get everybody off his back. He said the decline of the Cowboys was Michael Irvin's fault. He didn't say it, the documentary said it. The decline of the Cowboys after the dynasty was Michael Irvin's fault for all the foolishness, the tomfoolery that Michael Irvin was involved in. It wasn't just Michael Irvin, man. They had 5 or 6 dudes that's out there doing dirt. Guys is out there acting like they were above the law. The Cowboys declined, and now you have Jerry Jones making all the calls, making all the stars wait for their money. And he gonna make Michael Parsons play on this contract. Michael Parsons came and brushed his teeth and get out the shower without worrying about getting injured. Because if he gets hurt, he's not getting paid. Like this is it. He gotta stay healthy. He can't step off the curb wrong. He can't get out the shower and slip. And Jerry Jones keeps saying, I got him. He's under contract. I ain't got nothing to worry about. He's gonna play. That's dirty, man. It's so dirty. But that's what it is. And the documentary, he was like, I'm going to stay this way. This is my team. I took the risk. I built Jerry's World. I got everybody paid when I broke the Nike deal and the Pepsi deal. Now everybody's getting paid, so I don't want to hear nothing. If it wasn't for me, y'all wouldn't be getting paid. That's what Jerry Jones is saying. I broke the business model the NFL had with Reebok and the other sponsors they had. He said, I'm an owner of this team. I do what I want. Rightfully so. But as an Eagles fan, keep it up, Jerry. We ain't got to worry about the Cowboys. He's not making moves to win games. He's making moves to make money. And at the end of the day, that's what he's all about. And he said, top, but the key for the win or go back to 13. That's what we grew up playing. Me and Danye in the backyard, at Danye's backyard court all night playing 21. That ain't changed. Who changed it? If you got close to 21, everybody wanted to play defense. Yeah, no layups. And if you got close to 21. How did that work? If you get 21, so now if you get 21, you miss your 3-pointer to win it. The next person scores, you go back to 13. We automatically went back to 13 if you miss. So we had more pressure. We can get our own rebound, still have 21, hit a layup, and go back and shoot the 3-pointer and win the game. Things have changed, man. All right, I already talked about my poly dreams, man. It's Paw Paw season, man. Before I get out of here, Paw Paw. The Queenie Lane sent me a video, and first Paw Paw dancing. In honor of Unk season, Paw Paw got on the glass heel, high heels. He got to be 90, 95. And that's what he's talking about. Whose Paw Paw is this? And then I got Paw Paw season. Paw Paw hooping at the LA Fitness. Whose Paw Paw is this? Somebody, he's got to be an old pro. Because his moves, I mean, he looked like Popovich, but he's out there with the no-look sky hook. And he the same speed every time. And his hezzy, he got to his spot. Hezzy, shoulder, scoop. It's Paw Paw season, man. Don't sleep on Paw. He been playing games. He been playing this game for a long time. And these youngsters don't know what's happening, man. This scoop shot is vicious. Hey, Paw Paw season. If y'all like Paw Paw season, let me know. We gonna find some more Paw Paws. This video had me laughing, man. We played PB football. And if you played football in Long Beach in the 70s and 80s,
hey, both of y'all last for that a lot, bro.
the whole team will be running.
Just stood there. Go.
Coach Harris used to say, "It sounds like two rats pissing on cotton." I need to hear some clack clack. If I don't hear some clack clack, we all running. All these kids would have had the team running. The avoiding of contact was diabolical. We would be doing eye openers until the sun went down. All these kids playing basketball and baseball, man. Our coaches wasn't having it. Our coaches would have been on our heads so tough for us avoiding contact. All these kids play video games. I promise you. I promise you these kids play video games. We were brought up differently, man. Byron, no. Eye openers. We hitting today. If I don't hear some hitting, we running. So we would be in line waiting our turn and telling the soft kids, man, you better hit. Because if Coach Harris don't hear us hitting, we going to be doing up, downs, and alligators all night. Bear claws all night. Stomach rolls all night. Until your head swim, is what Coach Harris used to say. I'll make you run so long and make your head swim. I didn't know what that meant. Still don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. But I know we was hitting. I know we was hitting. Eddie said Paw Paw still moving. Paw Paw that's balling looks like dude that be balling in New York. George the Messiah. George the Messiah. I think I could beat him because I'm a hack, and I'll make him go left. He always ends up on the right side with that little hook shot. Do like Scalabrini and make him go left and beat him up. That's it. TJ said, bull in the ring, Oklahoma drills. We called it mama drill. Mama drill, Coach Harris say, get in the circle, and you stand in the middle and you hit based on who we call out. And we play with some killers, TJ. I mean, we doing mama drill with Booch, Freddie Franklin, Z-Bone, Bubba Lowry, Terrence Brown. Byron was running a 10-5 and 12 years old. William Jones. All these dudes. Sharif. We had Marlon Brisker. All these dudes is killers. Coming in and throwing all kind of ham sandwich elbows to your grill, man. They outlawed the bull ring mama drill. So now we got to do Oklahoma's. Look at the video again. He went right all the time. Did he go right every time? He sure did. You go to your spot and you get your shot off and you do the same shot. You do what you do, man. That's old school pro. You get to your spot and you shoot your shot, man. All right, man. That's my show. I appreciate y'all. Hey, if you can, check out Delaware State versus Delaware on Thursday night, ESPN Plus, 4 p.m. West Coast time. I got open house, back to school night on the same time as my son's game. You know, I'm hot as fish grease. So I'll have the game on in my classroom, and I'll be watching the game. Shout out to Delaware State Hornets. Let's get those dudes. Get the Blue Hens or Delaware University. I don't know. The HBCU versus the FBS. So it should be tough. Check out Alex. He on kickoff and punt, block, and edge rusher. So he should have a good game. I don't see nobody blocking him at this level. He should be able to get him a sack and have some fun out there. All right, y'all. That's my time. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Until next time, next week, Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's AC Sports Live. May Yeshua continue to bless you. And you have a blessed week. And I'll see y'all next week. I'm out.